everybody, welcome back to another video. I've got a crochet stitch for you all today, and it is the corner to corner stitch. I've seen this stitch literally everywhere, and I actually did not know that it existed, so I went ahead and learnt it myself, and I thought I would share it with all of you so you could learn it too. It's a perfect stitch for blankets, headbands, scarves even. It's really flat and nice, and it works, as the name suggests, from corner to corner. So there's two stages to this stitch really. There's the increasing stage and then the decreasing stage. I will show you both and talk you through step by step each stage. It's super simple once you get the hang of it and once you get like the flow of the repeat of how the stitch works. So anyway, I've got some yarn here today and I've got a corresponding hook size. You can use any yarn that you prefer. If you've got a spare ball hanging around, use that, go ahead and grab that. I've got a pair of scissors to chop off my ends as well. So go ahead and grab your materials and then we can get started. Okay then, so we're going to start by making a slip knot, and you can do this in whichever way that you prefer. I do have a video on it if you want to go and check that out. I'll leave it in the description box down below. You're going to start with a chain of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And skipping the first 3 chains, so not the chain on the hook, we don't count that one. But 1, 2, 3, first 3 chains, and then into the 4th chain from your hook you're going to work a treble crochet. This is treble in UK terminology and double in US. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Into the next stitch you're going to do the same, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And into the 3rd chain, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. You're then going to turn your work and you're going to chain another 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Skipping the first 3 chains and working trebles into the next 3, just like we've done in the previous block. Yarn over, insert your hook into the 4th chain from your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the next chain, work another treble, and into the next chain work another treble, like so. And now we've got 2 blocks, and we're actually going to now connect these blocks together. So what you're going to do is find the gap between your chain 3 and the treble on this block. So the first block we worked, find the gap between the chain 3 and the first treble, which is this one here. And all you're going to do is slip stitch into that. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up and pull through the stitch on your hook. And now you have connected these 2 blocks together. Okay then, so you've just slip stitched into this chain 3 space, and now we're going to do something a little bit different. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as our first treble. And into the gap that we have slip stitched into, we're going to work another 3 treble crochets. So we'll have a total of 4 treble crochets into that gap, including this chain 3. So yarn over, into the gap you've just slip stitched into, work 1 treble, 2 trebles, and a 3rd treble, like so. Now we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, skipping the first 3 chains and working treble crochets into the next 3, 1, 2 and 3, like so. And now we're going to slip stitch into the gap between the chain 3 space and the treble crochet, like so. So just slip stitch into that space. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and work another 3 trebles into that same exact space. So working 1, working 2, and working a 3rd treble. You're then going to join this section to this section with a slip stitch, so find the gap between the chain 3 space and the treble and insert your hook, working a slip stitch, and then just repeat that, so chain 3 and work another 3 trebles into that same exact space, so 1, 2 and 3. So you should start to see a little bit of a pattern repeat. So when we're at the edges, we're going to begin with our chain of 6, and then when we're in the middle, we do our slip stitch, chain 3 and another 3 trebles. I'll work one more row of increase for you, just so that you can clearly see what we do. But if you haven't got this yet, do go ahead and rewind the video and just watch through. Return your work and chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Miss the first 3 chains and work treble crochets into the next 3 chain spaces. So 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to join this section to this section right here, so slip stitch into the gap between the chain 3 space and the treble crochet, chain 3, work another 3 trebles, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to join this section to this section, so slip stitch into that space, chain 3 and work another 3 trebles. You can see that it's quite repetitive. 2 and 3, and then slip stitch into that last gap, chain 3 and work another 3 trebles. Like so. And that is how you increase your corner to corner work. You can see that this is going to be one edge of the square, and then this is going to be the other edge, and you can see that they're building it up. You can see that this is like one row, then we've got the next, then we've got the next, and then we've got the next, and you increase a block each time. So what I'm going to leave you now, and you're going to increase the amount of rows that you want. I'm just going to do a small swatch square to show you, so I'm only going to do a few more rows. So when you reach the edge, you're going to chain 6 and work that section of the increase, and then when you're in the middle, you're going to work your slip stitch, chain 3 and 3 more trebles. So I'm going to leave you now to work a few more rows, and then I will meet you back on the decrease. Okay then, so I've just done a few more rows, but I'm doing a swatch square, so I've kept it pretty small. And now we're ready to move on to decreasing. So this is when you've reached kind of the stage of your project that's kind of half done, and then you want to finish it off to get the square. So to do this, we're going to start in a slightly different way. You're going to turn your work, and we're going to work some slip stitches. So we're going to work a slip stitch into each gap. So the gap between the first treble and the second and the third, and then the third and the chain. So all you're going to do is the gap between them, just work a slip stitch, 1, the gap between the next two, slip stitch, and the gap between the last two, slip stitch. And then once you're in this gap, you're going to work something that is basically the same as the increase. So you're going to chain 3, and you're going to work the 3 trebles into that space. So 1, 2, and 3. Then slip stitch into the next space between the treble and the chain 3. So this is like the increase rows, but for the decrease we just start and end in a little bit of a different way. But to make our square we have to work this a similar way. So between the chain and the treble, insert your hook, okay then, so I just worked that all the way along the row, just because it was the same, I just kind of switched ahead for you. So now we're on to the last one. So all you're going to do is between these two in that gap, work a slip stitch, and that is how you're going to close the row. I'm going to turn our work and work slip stitches into the gaps, so into the gap between those, the gap between those trebles, and then the gap between the treble and the chain 3, working a slip stitch. And what that does is just kind of makes our edge nice and straight. And then you're going to work the same thing, so into the gap between the chain 3 and the treble, work a chain 3 and work 3 trebles. And again in the next one, slip stitch, work a chain 3, and then work 3 trebles. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish this row, and then I'll meet you back at the end to show you once again how to start your next decrease. Okay then, and slip stitch into the last space, and then turn your work and you can begin your next row of decreasing. Slip stitch, and slip stitch. So you're just going to want to do this until your square is completely closed off and you've finished all of your decreasing. Obviously, depending on how many you increased and how big your work is, it's going to be very, very different. But continue doing this until you've reached the end. Okay then, so I've just finished working my decrease and I'm just onto my last slip stitch. So I've just slip stitched into there. I'm going to chain 1 and just cut my yarn, and there we have finished our square. So this is the corner to corner stitch. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I hope you've been able to work your increase and decrease to get this really, really nice look. It's very different to kind of anything that I've really done before in crochet, because obviously, as you know, you either work kind of flat or in length or whatever, but this is working from, as the name clearly states, corner to corner. So thank you all so much for watching. Leave me a like if you enjoyed this video and if you found it helpful. Comment down below what videos you'd like to see in the future, and also if you have any questions whatsoever, subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video and you can become part of this wonderful crochet and knitting community. And also, if you get the chance, follow me on Instagram. I'm at hooks.andneedles1. There will be a link in the description box below. You can keep up to date with all of my crochet creations, as well as being informed of whenever and what the videos are every week. So thank you all, and I will see you very soon with another video. Keep crafting and have fun. Bye!